this is the Max and Lewis show, seeing as we don't
Yes,
want
it is
Masi,
at
the
this
only
point.
person watching this. We've just got to round this out quickly and mention basically everything else that happened.
Tsunoda was incredible.
Science on the podium, you love to see it. The one time I don't predict him to finish on the podium, he finishes on the podium, which is, you know what, fair play to him. He's now finished 5th in the championship. That's ahead of Norris and Charles.
Yeah, I think you have
Just
to
big.
give him. You have to give him points for going into Ferrari, going into Charles' team, beating him, and just I think that there was like people saying, "Oh, Mick Schumacher's gonna come. They're gonna let Carlos go." I think they can't, because if they let him go, or you let him go of your better driver at this point, or like the guy who's performed, he jumped into a new car and he performed better over the course of the season than the other driver. So
it's interesting, yeah. So
and they're never gonna let Charles go.
True. Because the whole conversation, the moment Carlos was given that seat was, oh yeah, he's a place filler. He gets a 2-year contract. Charles is already on his 5-year contract. He's basically Ferrari's next champion confirmed as soon as they get the car. And then Mick Schumacher, the son of greatest of all time, Michael Schumacher, he comes in, he fills his dad's boots, he comes into the team, and they've got 2 incredible drivers. But now they've got 2 incredible drivers anyway.
I think as well, like the team is more balanced now. Like Carlos and Charles seem to have a good relationship. As in, it's not like they're not buddies, but it's like professional relationship. There's respect there, and like you don't really.
They're as fast as each other, pretty much.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, this is the first time in a long time they haven't had a 1 and 2. Like normally they end up having a 1 and 2. So like there was Schumacher, Barrichello, Alonso, Massa, Kimi and Vettel, other way around though, like Vettel and Kimi. Pretty much for as long as I can remember, Ferrari have had a strong number 1 and a clear number 2.
Yeah.
But now
they don't need.
they can't
That's
do
the
that.
thing. The balance of the team though is very good, so they don't actually need that. Like I think they do well together. You have to mention also Tsunoda. He got P4.
So Tsunoda and
best
Gasly,
finish.
4 and 5.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with. I think Tsunoda, like if you look, he did well in Bahrain, and I think then everyone expected so much of him, and then he went through that phase that kind of like he's a bit more messy than like a lot of like guys who are in Formula 1 for the first year. But I think he picked up towards the end of the season. He's performing a lot better now.
He said this is the best he's felt in terms of confidence.
But in terms of like the previous races, he's also been like doing really well.
He's getting there, yeah.
Yeah, I think in terms of next season, going into next season, at the end of next season, I see them like if he keeps this up and he keeps improving, I see them keeping him and Gasly.
I do see that as well, yeah.
And then because they have an incredible array of young talent, that then they're looking at like who can be the next maybe number 2 or who can challenge Max.
Because if Max from Max,
because because Max could leave. Like realistically, he could leave in the next few years. So
really,
who would fill his boots?
That's very impressive.
Sergio Perez can't do that. I don't think
he can't.
Tsunoda can't do that.
No.
But like for instance, there's Liam Lawson.
You think he would leave in a couple years?
Perhaps, you never know.
The first thing he said on the radio after was, can we do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah, but the next year, if what happened to Sebastian Vettel happens in next year,
true,
Max is leaving.
True, yeah. To be fair, Max is too good of a driver
Max
to deal with a midfield team.
Max is leaving.
Oh my god, yeah, I completely forgot. Red Bull are probably going to be a midfield team next year.
Yeah, so he is.
Oh, you're completely right.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's going to leave
soon.
So that's why Red Bull need to find someone good quickly. That's why I'm surprised they get, like new regulations and stuff. They'll probably be able to keep Max maybe for the year afterwards. But I think that's the thing with Max winning the championship. And like getting this taste of winning race in, race out, I don't think he's going to accept that going back again to what Red Bull was.
It happens to everyone. Like it happened to Lewis at McLaren. The reason he moved to Mercedes, which
but
was
he stayed
a
with that for
midfield team at the time.
Years, you know.
He did stick with it, yeah.
I don't think Max would stick with it. He doesn't have that mentality.
But either way, a quality driver does not sit around in a midfield team. They get now that he's proven himself to be clearly
a world champion.
In terms of now, I'd say he's the most valuable driver on the grid, obviously.
Oh, by far.
Age is so Lewis is so much older now.
Lewis is dead, bro.
Even if you want to argue who's faster, whatever, who cares? Realistically, he's younger, which means that he's way more valuable to a team.
And he's only going to get better with time.
Exactly.
Like, he was able to keep up with Lewis this year and best him for most of the season, and he's only going to get better from here. So
yeah, which is why you would say that realistically, if
He's
Red
the
Bull
most
come up
valuable.
with some dead midfield car,
he's
whoever's dominating next year,
Yeah.
Max
But
Verstappen
that's the
has a
interesting-
clear entry into that
But
seat.
that's the
potentially.
interesting part. I don't see him going to Mercedes.
No,
I don't see him going to
never.
Mercedes. But the question is, okay, if Lewis retires at the end of next year, who's going to get that second Mercedes? Are they going to get George to be there? No. I honestly, I'd be happy if Gasly goes there and it's Gasly and George.
Yo, oh my.
That team would be insane.
I'd love
But
that.
then I also want like Daniel to leave, and I want it to be Gasly and Lando. That would be a great team.
I've said this, yeah, I said this a while ago.
So, Gasly, I think, if Lewis retires, I think that will create something for Gasly.
It would be like the
But
ripple
if
that
he doesn't,
Nico
He's
left.
screwed, basically.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Hopefully, it would be a shame to see Gasly go.
But I don't see
we
Max
don't
going
want
to
Gasly much,
Mercedes.
yeah.
I don't see him
Nope.
going to Ferrari. I think Ferrari are happy with the setup they're having. I don't think they want to
Yeah.
bring in Max because it's a very toxic atmosphere. He wants to be the number one. He has to be the number one.
Yeah.
It's not going to go down well with like Charles because
He
they have
has
to
a
keep
good
Charles.
relationship with Lando.
I don't see him going to McLaren. Zach Brown loves Lando way too much to kind of let him play second fiddle to someone else. And I think the way Lando has stepped up this year.
You could see he's worthy of being the lead.
Yeah,
driver.
I think give him another year. If he has the car, I think now he's learned what it means to lead a race, and what like that kind of thing. I think there's inexperience in him, but there's also inexperience in the team because they have not dealt with that for the past, I don't know, like 10 years.
Yeah, the staff turnover
But-
from the last time they won the championship, which
insane.
was like what
But
2008. Was.
Mercedes obviously have won a lot more, so they had the experience of the time. So now it's kind of about building that experience. I think that with the team he has around him and stuff like that, I think if given a good car, now from next season, I think he could go on and potentially challenge. Perhaps win not next season, perhaps the season afterwards.
Maybe, yeah.
So he's won a few races, he knows what to do when he's leading a Grand Prix, how to do all of that stuff. And then perhaps the season afterwards. But then you've got George in there. See, that's the thing. Every team in the front of the grid now has their lead driver.
I was saying this, yeah, the big teams have now locked out their places.
So realistically, the only thing is like if Aston Martin become good, he could go there. But like Sebastian's gonna retire. Is Stroll gonna pay second fiddle to Max?
He's going to have to, but would his dad allow that? In terms of money, maybe.
No,
We'll see.
maybe not. And then the other teams, like Alpine, I don't really see him going there, to be honest.
We'll see. We'll have a chat about driver transfers and stuff because it's very interesting. Like, see, Michael Masi, you don't need to fabricate entertainment, bro. Like, what is this?
So
Anyway,
what did you the positions from last time?
Oh, what, the predictions?
It's 3.5
Nah,
to
shut up.
0.
We'll do that in a
No,
second.
it's 3.5 to 0.
So, Yuki looking good. Gasly actually finished 5 points behind Daniel Ricciardo. We've been pretty
That's
critical of
insane.
Daniel Ricciardo. Ocon finishes 7 points behind Alonso. Fair play to him. I know Alonso's like a dinosaur at this point, but like a solid performance over the year from him. Mazepin, worth noting, Nikita Mazepin finished 21st in a 20 driver championship. That is beautiful stuff.
Because what's his name
What a
finished
driver.
ahead of him.
Kubica.
Yeah, in terms of like places.
Yeah, both of them on no points, but he finished higher in one race, which means Mazepin was last.
Bro, the guy's driving with one hand, bro, and he's still finished ahead of him, bro.
And this is...
It's Monaco. I can't do anything. Oh my, I'll never forget that. It's Monaco, and like every
I'm gonna
other
link
driver
that.
is turning the dials, bro. Just listen and do it.
I'll link that in the YouTube video. And the last thing worth noting is it's the end of an era. Like, Kimi Raikkonen is now retiring. Giovinazzi's going to Formula E, I think. The 2017 era cars, seeing as the last big change in the regulations for the aero department was 2017 when they made the wide tyres and all of that stuff. That was the last big change. And now we're going to the 13-inch Pirelli tyres, which they're testing right now. So there are pictures out there of them with the fresh
They
tyres.
look nice. They look nice with the like covers as well.
They do look good, yeah. We'll see how they act and how they perform, seeing as tyres is a massive part of F1 and they always will be. So, that is
Stop
interesting.
delaying.
I don't want to do this, man.
Stop